Hello, lacrosse friends. Welcome to the 2018 Canadian Junior Men's Field Lacrosse Championships here in Oshawa. I am Stephen Stamp, joined by Joe Hiltz. And it's an interesting day already because we've got sun, we've got rain, we've got clouds, we've got sun, we've got wind, we've got rain. We don't know what to expect from the weather here, but we do know we have Ontario and BC battling for gold.
And you know what? We should expect an extremely well-played lacrosse game here today. Both these teams are at the top of the game right now. And like I said, you know what? I think this is going to be one game that we're going to be played right to the final.
In the round robin play, the very first game of this tournament, we are in the U15 Alumni Cup Championship game here. And BC and Ontario met in the very first game of the entire tournament. We've had, of course, have the U15s and the U18s. 7 U15 teams, 5 U18 teams, a lot of games over the course of 3 days. And in the very first game of the tournament, BC beat Ontario 6-5. And it'll be interesting to see, can Ontario turn that around, or does BC sweep and take gold home to the West Coast?
Well, you know what? It could very well go the other way. You know what? I'm talking to an Ontario coach. They said they came out, they were a little stiff for the sticks.
Yeah.
You know what? Playing at home in front of parents and family, you know what? Sometimes can be a little tough. BC's on the road, nothing to lose, right? They haven't won in a couple of years. And you know what? They came out, they won game 1, 6-5. And I think here today, this game right here, I think we're going to have another one-goal game, and it's going to come right down, like I said, down to the final buzzer.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they play. They are going. It's a bit of a change, of course, in the round robin play for the U15s. They play 2 25-minute halves. Here in the championship game, we'll be going with the traditional 4 20-minute quarters. So it's hard to say whose benefit that is to. The one thing, you look at the way the schedule plays out. These teams have played 6 games. They've all got a lot of miles on the legs, but who's going to be fresher?
Well, we know that Ontario played this morning. They played Alberta this morning. They beat Alberta pretty bad, 14-5, I think it was this morning.
Yeah, 15-4.
15-4.
Yeah, and they had to win that to get into this game, as Alberta and Ontario were both coming in a tied situation. So that was the matchup to get to this game. So that could take something out of Ontario. You never know. Sometimes that game earlier in the day, especially when you control it like that, serves to warm you up and boost your confidence.
Yeah, Coach Rudge said, they came out and they were clicking on all cylinders, and he's kind of hoping they'll continue that right through the start of this game.
We are preparing for the opening face-off. Ontario in their red with the white shoulder caps, white helmets going left to right on your screen. BC in their multi-blue with the taupe shoulder caps and the blue helmets. And Ontario gets the first possession, a win there. That was Matthew Collison getting possession for Ontario, and they will go to the attack. Ontario scored 99 goals in their 6 games in this tournament, only allowed 11. BC, 78 goals for, 12 against. Once you get into those leads, that becomes a little immaterial.
Yeah, once you start playing those province teams, you're
Ontario
not sure.
The attack in the first goal of the game. That is Finley Thompson sliding down from midfield. Gets the rip and the bouncer home to make it 1-0. They go straight to the offense.
Oh yeah, you know what? There's a kid out of Mimico. Thompson, comes from a very, very strong lacrosse family. Tanner Thompson just played folk, just got beat out last night. Mm-hmm. Goes to Marquette. Keegan Thompson also goes to Marquette. So you know what? Again, a very, very strong lacrosse family and a very, very good lacrosse player.
Marquette is keeping an eye on young Finley, and they've got to like what they've seen so far. 40 seconds into the game, Ontario gets the first goal, and immediate possession once again as Collison will once again take the face-off, gets a shot off. That one goes wide. Ontario retains possession.
BC's going to have to find a way to shut that down in a hurry, or that's going to hurt them for a long time here in the first half.
Justin Ertl will start with the ball, flips it up to Eric Ward. They go back up top, and Ty Scott will initiate. Had a little penetration, but retreated. Hands it off to Brian Jackman. Jackman with a little head fake. We'll toss it to the far side. And BC with the turnover caused. And they leap on the ball. That is Owen Robertson from Maple Ridge pouncing on it. Going for a run. Nice job to elude the ride. He might just go all the way here. Oh, he tries to get the pass off, and the ball just actually popped out of his stick as he wound up for that play.
Ontario has to make sure, on offense, Stan, where they have to move their feet. They can't stand still and just pass the ball around the outside. That was a classic example there. The goalie picked the pass off.
Yeah.
Why? Because they didn't move their feet.
Here's a chance for BC to set up the offense as their ride very effective, and now a penalty coming to Ontario. BC will set up on the delayed call. Still making some changes. That's Noah Manning. All tournament selection. Lets one rip a little bit wide, goes out the back, and BC will get possession and the man advantage.
We'll sit here, the first penalty of the game. We'll see what BC has to offer here on their power play, their man up.
They'll start from the top with Joel McCormick. Hit it over to the far side. That pass was tipped on its way to the top. It's still scooped up by McCormick. Some pressure on him from Ethan Gomes. All the way out. Back to McCormick. That bouncer just skipped away. And it is a turnover. The ball grabbed there by Nicholas Crowley. And that could be, the field conditions. Oh, another turnover. We've got some great defensive play here. Field position conditions, I was going to say, are a little changeable. There's a shot and a goal. What a rip. Boy, that ball was back and forth, and Noah Manning just goes high to low and just inside the pipe.
You know what? BC did a great job on the short man. They got the ball out of their own end, but they got across the midline. They stopped. And you know what? They stopped and a little bit of pressure, and you turn the ball. You got to keep pushing that ball to the far corner when you're down just to spread things out so the guys can't double team you.
Yeah, and you can see the long pass that Manning accepts with nobody near him. Of course, Ontario had pushed the ball, as you mentioned, over center. But then the turnover, and they're just shorthanded in their back end.
And again, a nice shot by Manning on far side post, right? Like tough for these goalies to make some of those inside close saves.
And we're saying with it's been sunny and warm, and then it gets rainy. It's still hot. You wonder how that ball is going to skip off the turf. How wet does it get down there? There's Dante Brown. Takes a big hit and then a double team hit. Takes one from the front, one from the back. He'll get possession back.
A loose ball foul, yep.
He's going to gather possession of his senses, head to the bench. Jason Rudge, the Ontario coach, was saying, you asked him, what do you need to do to get them ready to go? And he said, just get Orlando Bowen.
Yep.
Let's go in and have a chat with them. Motivational speaker, former CFL player. And
yeah, he
gets him fired up.
You get him in a room, and he's like a sponge. It's just like soak right to him.
Pass just barely gets through to Blameyers. Michael Blameyers will initiate from the top. Shot to the outside, knocked down. No problem there for Jack Kask, the goaltender for BC, and he comes up with possession. Nice long bouncing outlet pass, and Aiden Collery setting things up for BC. Such an effective clear when you make that quick pass and there's no time to set up the ride.
Well, yeah, for sure. You know what the idea is, get that ball out and up as quick as you can. That way the defense can't set up and protect the midline.
Color to Hochstratton. It was Liam Hochstratton, 98 on the near side. They toss it over, and Callum Monroe will take the pass back.
Again, here with no 30-second clock in the field game, right? A lot of possession, a lot of time taken off the clock, a lot of time to possess the ball. Set up your defense and pick them apart.
Great strip on the slide there. Ethan Gomes just pounces. Again, though, all kinds of pressure. And Ontario having to fight their way out. Brian Jackman makes it over center. Now he's knocked down. Still has the ball.
And we got a flag down, too. So Ontario's definitely going on the power play.
You can see that flag right there as the ball is passed across to Eric McDonald. He'll head to the wing.
No. But you get a flag down like that, Stan. Once you get the ball inside the attacking zone, if you bring it back out, it just kills the clock.
Yeah, a bit of a mental miscue there by Eric McDonald. He saw Ty Scott coming in off the bench and wanted to throw it to him to set up at the top, and you just got to stay down low.
Sometimes playing on different fields, you don't realize kind of where you are in the field, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, they are using 3 different fields here at the complex. This is the main stadium field at Oshawa Civic Fields. Great facility here. Just love having the games over here. Sidearm rip by Scott. Doesn't get through. We're going to have an illegal pick.
Yep. Unlike the box game in here, this game, you got to make sure that you're stationary, straight up and down, stop, when you're setting them picks.
Yeah, you just can't get away with as much. Hoke Stratton takes the pass back up. BC still making their substitutions. They've got just 4 men in the attacking zone, so they're going to take their time, get everybody all set.
Looks like they're just going to kill the penalty off, and Ontario's going to let them.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't get their 5th attacker or 5th player out in the offensive zone for probably 15 seconds.
Oh, we're all back at even strength right now. The 6 guys come back on the field on the far side right now.
And we'll see how BC chooses to attack. Noah Manning surveying from behind. 1-1 game. Got 11:35 to go here in the first quarter. Again, the change going from 2:25s to 4:20s. It's a big difference.
Yes.
A 50-minute game to an 80-minute game.
Oh, yeah. A lot more time to control, right? It can't all be running gun. When you're in 225s, you can go as hard as you want.
Yeah.
When you're playing 420s.
And when you're in 225s, when these teams played again the first game of the weekend, they're all fresh, ready to go for 225s. There's a pass in the front. Great quick release. And Finley Thompson with his 2nd of the game puts Ontario up 2-1 with exactly 11 minutes to go here in the first.
That was just a classic off-ball cut. You know what? Defense is watching the ball, and Finley cuts through, takes a nice pass, and puts it in the short side.
And they're fired up as they take that lead. But you've got so you're going to the 4 20-minute periods, and you've also got the 6 games now under your belt in 3 days, which, of course, is part of why they go to the 225s, is because these teams are playing a lot of games. Face-off win, and BC will set up. Joel McCormick grabs that ball and heads into the offensive zone. Once again, Manning behind, goes up to Hoke Stratton. Manning at X. Just trots off to the side. Back to Hoke Stratton. BC being very patient. They do have a man in the stack. Little fake there by Joshua Iachino. Now they clear out. See what Manning can do on his own. He's stripped. And pouncing on that loose ball is Ethan Gomes. Nice job by Alexander Marnier to knock it free. And then the ride by BC, and Ontario is going to go back to the man advantage. Slashing call, 1 minute. You don't like that one?
No, that was a tough call. You know what? He had him. He hit him on the butt end of his stick. The ball popped out nice and clean. At the same time, you know what? Referees can't. We see what we see, and you know what? Maybe don't take big chops.
Yeah, and I mean, I always like to point out the refs are right down, right beside that play.
And we're not.
Yeah. That gives them advantages in some ways, and also it's a disadvantage at times when you're right down there. You get people in your way and things. I think that one, though, she had a perfect view. There's a release and a goal. Ty Scott. Quick release after taking that pass in Ontario. Just nice ball movement, forcing the BC defense to adjust and then taking the open look.
And who set that one up? Thompson.
Yeah, Finley Thompson's on fire.
You know what? When you run a power play, though, in this game, you know what? You get the ball moving quick. You know what? Spaces open up, and he just popped up into an open space, and Thompson found him. And it was a nice shot far side.
Finley Thompson was just flat-footed. I mean, just standing dead still. Takes the pass across from Ertl, and no pressure on him. Again, the short man situation. You just can't get on everyone. And Thompson was set quite high in the formation, so it's tough to really send somebody out after him. You're really extending and putting yourself in a tough situation if you do. Of course, as it turns out, it was a tough situation anyway.
Ontario just won their fourth draw, I do believe it was. And, again, by number 22, Collison, who didn't take the last draw that they lost. So I'm sure that coach will be putting him back out for more draws to come.
Ontario with the 3-1 lead. 7.5 to go here in the first quarter. I'm Stephen Stamp with Joe Hiltz. This is Canadian Junior Men's Field Lacrosse Championship action. Bowen across to Scott. Lob pass behind the net. Ertl goes to
Gomes.
Is Gomes at the X? Nope, that's
18.
Bowie Horseman. I was going to say, Gomes has traded in his long pole if he's up at this end.
Yeah, true enough.
There's a shot on the run from Brian Jackman. That one's swallowed up. Kask tries the quick outlet pass. This time, it backfires on him. And Oliver Vagno, the Ontario goalie, is just settling everyone down, going out to take the pass, and then there's the quick outlet, and Ontario's into the offensive zone just like that. Horseman will toss it up to the top, and Michael Blaemeyers waiting for the full attacking set to get on.
Right here you see Ontario just moving the ball.
Little stack in the top. They're letting Ertl attack from behind, and he just spins off a check. Gets away from Lucas Elliott. Gets his hands free and goes high to high, just far pipe.
Yeah, you know what? He takes the ball, and he starts going weak side, rolls back strong side. You'll see it right here. He goes weak side, rolls back strong side. Unfortunately, the slides of the lake get there, and he gets a good opportunity from the crease. Nice shot.
4-1. It's 5.5 to go in the first. And again, BC won the first game 6-5 between these teams.
Ontario's got their third draw guy in number 19, taking this one, Brian Jackman.
And he's going to win it. Nice body position as he just lighthoused. A little spin onto his opponent. Stepped right into open space and had no trouble picking the ball up. Colin Barnett will take his time. Down to Eric Ward. Ward goes to Ertl. You asked Jason Rudge, who's your quarterback? Who's the offense flow through? And his answer was everybody.
Yeah. He said we pretty much got a bunch of guys out there that can take the ball and can control it and can run it.
Nice strip by BC to get it back. And they're going to go into the offensive zone and try and get back into this. I mean, obviously 4-1 with 64 minutes to go, no problem in terms of the deficit. You just don't want to let it get any further and let Ontario run away and just build their confidence.
Yeah, you know what? BC's got to find a way to get inside, put the ball in the net here. Just to kill a little momentum, that's all.
Mm-hmm. Collier and Yachino playing catch, and they eventually move it down to Manning. Back up to Hoogstraten. Jackson Fridge gets it back. Pass across to Collery. He's going to go for a bit of a dodge. Tries to make the pass back, but is knocked down by Barnett. Loose ball push, and Ontario will get possession as Barnett was flattened.
Yeah, that's a tough pass, and that BC takes the ball to the right side and a pass back with the defense on your back. That's a pretty tough pass to make.
Big hit by Hoogstraten, flattening the Ontario defender, clearing. That was Eric McDonald. But he bounced up, got right back into the play. And they are set in the offensive zone. Jackman. Lob pass. It's too far. But nice backup by Dante Bowen. We talked about Orlando Bowen giving them a chat before the game and watching his son Dante out there playing. And Orlando Bowen is pacing the the track beside this. But a lot of fans, a lot of parents here are watching. There's a shot by Ty Scott. Nice bouncer. He's flattened to the ground by Jordan Vincent.
And we have
after
a
the
flag.
shot.
We have a flag on the play as well due to a late hit coming on that shot as well.
As the Vincent hit, as it was just a bit of a stride after the ball's released.
Ontario's going to start with the ball here. There will be no draw on this one.
Actually, that's about 3 strides.
Oh yeah,
After the ball's
that was
released.
definitely a late hit. That's a no-brainer right there.
And that's tough. I mean, you're down 4-1. You're trying to make something happen. You're trying to send a message. And unfortunately for BC, the message they sent is, here, have the goal and have the ball back. And a man advantage. So 5-1, Ontario goes up. But we're saying lots of parents here in the stands. Orlando Bowen, he's out there. He's living moment to moment with this team. Oh, Scott, up to the top. Go ahead.
Right now you see Ontario starting an open set. They move the ball around the outside, and then they do a crisscross to the top.
Scott with a chance. The stop. The save dropped in front of the rebound, and Ontario went after it, but it is scooped up there. But that pass back to the goaltender. Nice job to just swat that head by Jack Kask. Smart play as he had a whole lot of red coming after him, and he just tapped it out of trouble. Great run by Lucas Elliott, taking off with that ball and getting all the way up halfway into the Ontario zone before he eventually gave up the ball. Penalty coming to Eric McDonald will even things out for the moment.
And we might have another call here as there was a late flag that came in at the end of the play.
Yeah, I think, is there a second penalty? Is that Eric Ward also going? He's standing in the penalty area.
Yeah, it looks like Ontario's taking 2 penalties here. One for a push, illegal push.
And a slash.
And one for a slash.
So chance for BC. There's going to be a lot of open space.
It's like a box. We're going to be like a box power play right now. We're going to be 5-on-4 on offense for BC. Let's see what they can muster up here.
Then they'll go to the 6-on-4 eventually.
Referee's still trying to figure it out. And away we go.
I mean, the big thing isn't so much just adjudicating the penalties, getting the guys in the box. The big thing is making sure the timers know exactly when everyone's coming out and that it's clear to both benches what will be happening. Looks like BC might just wait for their penalty to release. They will, and go to the 6-on-4.
Makes sense.
If they can get a goal here, you think they're going to want to attack pretty quickly, get a goal and a timeout to take full advantage of this man advantage time. Up top to Joshua Gabriel. Manning. Down low, pass across the crease. Gets through, but was tipped. And Favreau couldn't quite catch it. Ryan Favreau will track it down, but is snagged away by Emmett Flynn. Huge for Ontario to get that possession. 1 penalty's released. We're into the final 40 seconds here of the first quarter.
It's a nice clear of this Marinara. Just kind of scooted up through about 3 BC guys.
Yeah, Alexander Marnier just obviously the focus in your own end, but that's just lovely work to get it up into the offensive zone. Back to full and even strength. 18 seconds to go. Ontario working for a last shot here, trying to extend their lead to 5. Oh, and that's a bit of a tough break for BC. The pass through to Ertl, and
I think it deflected off his stick. I think he just missed the pass, and the goalie just kind of lost it going, thinking he was going to catch it, and took a step, and the ball went by him.
Well, if you're the goalie, you're playing for the pass to be caught and fired, and it just drifts through. It may have tipped off Ertl.
There he is here.
Yeah.
You see the pass come back. Oh. It was way back.
So it should go 6-1. That last goal hasn't gone up yet. That'll make it 6-1 for Ontario.
Yep.
And a huge lead. It just pops up on the board now. We get a couple minutes break, and what a first quarter for Ontario. We were wondering on the drive up here, did they just not play sharp? Did they? Because you expect, this Ontario team has a lot of talent. BC on the road. It's obviously a tight game when BC wins in the first round, but was Ontario going to come out better?
Yeah, but Ontario had a game this morning. They got on the field. They got to play a game. Got their legs loose. You know what? Coach Rudd said they were clicking at all cylinders this morning. BC sits all morning, right? They don't get out on the field. They don't get their legs loosened up as much. That could be a difference right now too, right? So we'll have to wait the second quarter here, see what happens.
And the one factor, I mean, what you're talking about can really play into the benefit of the team that played this morning, because they have to warm up elsewhere. They had about 8 minutes when the last U18 round robin game finished on this Field 1 until they started, until the captains were shaking hands and were getting ready to go. And you don't get a lot of time on the field to warm up. You've got to warm up elsewhere. Come over here, try and keep loose. They can pass and run some lines behind the field at either end. But it's not the same as having your space to get a good solid warm up.
No, you like to have at least a half hour warm up on the field before your game. You could just tense. You could just sense, BC on the sideline. We're over there with the coach. They were a little nervous, right?
Collison back out for Ontario to try and continue their dominance at the faceoff dot. And we're underway. And that's a nice win for Joel McCormick. And he's going to go and push the pace right away. They tried to press their advantage, but the ball pops loose, and Ontario will come up with it.
What you're seeing there is when BC gets the ball, Ontario's in their face right away.
Yeah.
On every offensive place, when they drive, and there's a slide coming, he's always in his face. They're not getting any opportunities to get that ball inside, to get an opportunity to score.
The energy is huge for Ontario. No back off, no waiting. Here's a drive to the net by Alex Russell. Goes hard to the net. Nice stop by Kask. And he'll come up with possession and just leaves it there. I'm not sure Lucas Elliott was ready for that pass, but he does adjust and pick it up. Goes back to Kask. BC with the patient clear. And Ontario's quite happy for BC to take their time coming up here.
It is a 20-minute quarter, too. There's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Lots of time. Score maybe 6-1 right now, but you know what? That 6-1 score could evaporate pretty quickly if BC gets on a run.
You see Jack Kask just waiting. And there's nobody even remotely open. Everyone on the Ontario side pretty much locking their guys off, just getting right up on them.
Oh, look at that.
Now they run him into the bench to open something up. And he goes straight to the net. We have a whistle, though, and a timeout.
That was an interesting change. You know what? The BC guy backed off. The Ontario guy back to the back side of the change box. And then BC slips the guy at the front side, right? Catch them off guard.
Jackson Fridge zips in from the bench. I thought he actually had a pretty good scoring chance when they took the timeout.
Well, I have no idea they run a play like that just to have a timeout when they have a fast break going to the net.
Yeah. I'm Stephen Stamp with Joe Hilt. This is Canadian Junior Men's Field Lacrosse Championship action. 6-1 for Ontario, and so far everything really clicking for the home club.
Yeah, you know what? Offensively, they're moving the ball, they're taking their time, they're picking their spots, and they're shooting the ball. They're finding the back of the net. I think the BC guys probably made 4 or 5 saves right now. I think Ontario's out shooting BC probably 10 to 4, 10 to 5. Like, good opportunities. I think BC team, they have to, again, they get a fast break, and instead of moving your feet and then drawing, the guy standing flat-footed wanting to catch a pass.
Yeah.
Guy slides up. You know what? You have to help each other out. You have to create space. You just can't stand and watch the guy with the ball run down the field.
BC will come out and set up in the offensive zone. And Fridge will have the ball to start. Where's that Ichino? With the mountainscape on the jerseys, it's pretty difficult to see those numbers on the front. It's actually Aiden Collery, number 91 over on the far side. They go down to Manning behind the net.
You're probably going to see a dodge from the top right here on a shorty on shorty. Here it comes right now.
Then the flip pass back. They're swinging it around. It looks like a chance coming for, and it is. Great finish by Hoogstraten.
If you watch this, you can see it set up from the very beginning. They're moving the ball. They just moved the ball around. They're looking for that matchup, shorty on top side. When the guy gets the advantage of the run in, beat the guy, drew the slide. You'll see it here. He drew the slide, comes around, pass in. He steps up around. Right here, the Ontario guy just missed his check. Slide comes a little late, and he just makes a good shot. Top net.
Winds up being tripped up after he shoots. That was actually Callum Monroe from Pitt Meadows. Gets that rip. Nice mix of hometowns. When you look at the BC roster and you see a bunch of Maple Ridge folks.
Kamloops,
Nanaimo, Pitt Meadows, Maple Ridge, Comox, Port Alberni, Victoria, Coquitlam, Burnaby. I mean, they're from all over. It's a real mix. It's just pretty cool to see. And with possession and an advancement into the offensive zone, BC starts with possession once again, trailing 6-2.
Again, let's see what they do. They just possess the ball. Let's see what's up. Just waiting for a full change, I guess, before they start moving the ball around the full outside.
Yeah, Manning gets it back. Going to come to Favreau on the near side.
They're looking for a top side.
There's that shorty on shorty matchup, but they can't complete the pass. It skips away from Reese Marshall, and Colin Barnett grabs it. Ontario pushing the pace now, but they get stripped. Big battle for the ball.
Oh, the hold. Where's the flag on that? Oh,
there we go.
That's a definite hold for sure.
Yeah, Zachary O clamping on pretty good. Flips Favreau down to the ground. Favreau a little shaken up on the play. Trainer comes out. He just waves her off.
Oh.
Says, no, I'm good.
No, it looks like he's giving a legal body check here. She's giving him a legal body check rather than a holding penalty.
I was thinking hold as well. I mean, yeah, that's a hold.
No, yeah, giving him a legal body check for 1 minute. Oh, good call. He did throw him to the ground, so you know what? In her eyes, maybe there was a little aggressive throwing him to the ground.
Yeah.
Right? He did pin him with the stick and kind of hold him up, but you know what? He did throw him down as well. So
yeah, so make it a minute. BC to the extra man. Late change. They send Favreau off. Oh, he had to go off and come back in because he was knocked down on the play and play was stopped while he was on the field. They're going to make him run off and then pivot and come back into the play.
You know, usually that only happens when you put a trainer on the field. Right? If trainer goes out to see the guy, then you have to come off.
And the trainer did come out, but he never saw her. He just said, no, I'm good, and just kept playing. But I guess because the trainer was out, there's a low-to-low goal, the rip by Manning, Noah Manning from Victoria. Just lets it fly and finds a spot.
Well, that's his second goal of the game. That was a nice shot as well. You know, just classic playing a power play with the top three guys. Looks like just playing pass, playing catch. It steps in, nice underhand shot, far side low.
Nobody picks him up, so Manning just takes advantage, making it 6-3. And the timeout by BC. It's a dangerous little window we've got here. I had a roster sheet blow out the window earlier, but at least it wasn't during the game. Yours just took off on you.
Well, I guess that goal just took this whole thing and just took it apart. Right now,
but we are fortunate to have Matthew Carrick here with us. He is always ready to help and handed us some tape. A brilliant solution.
What do we have here? We have an Ontario timeout.
BC timeout.
BC timeout.
Because they scored on the man advantage, so they're going to try and make the most of it.
And hopefully they win the draw and make use of it.
That's the plan, obviously, right?
Nice.
Pretty excited about that tape, eh?
I am.
It's good stuff.
Just be thankful the Sheets didn't end up with the next field across
know.
the way.
When mine blew out, I had to go out because we're at one end of this box up here, this hut, which is great, but we have to go out to the far end because there's no door in our end. Have to go to the far end, down and across. And when I went out, my sheet was blown up against the side of a step. Thank goodness. Otherwise, yeah, it might have been off on across the road. So 15:46 to play. BC has pulled within 5-3. We'll give you a quick rundown of exactly how everyone got here. Opening game, as we mentioned, BC beats Ontario 6-5. Ontario then wins 8-1 against Manitoba, 21-0 against Saskatchewan, 18-0 against Quebec, 22-0 against PEI, and then this morning's 15-4 victory against Alberta to get them into this gold medal game.
Yeah, the 2, 3, and 4 games they played. Their games were just going out and working on things that the team needs to work on. Obviously, they came in here this morning. They put it all together this morning, put a great game on the field. Obviously beating Alberta 15-4, who's been a great competitor.
Yeah.
BC only beat them 7-4 yesterday.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Right?
You look at BC, opens up with the 6-5 win over Ontario, downs Quebec 13-1, then that close game with Alberta 7-4, you see the difference there with Ontario beating Alberta 15-4. You think maybe this Ontario team is coming on and getting ready to play. They finished up with wins against Manitoba 15-0, Saskatchewan 15-2, and PEI 22-0. The exact same score by which Ontario beat them, actually.
This ball's going forward for Ontario. If he wins it, he's laying. He's laying on it. We're going BC ball.
Yep, trapping the ball. Matthew Collison doesn't like the call, but it was fairly clear.
No release yet.
No, the player's still over in the box.
Oh, wow.
Tight change at the center line there. BC on the man advantage, down 6-3. Looking to cut into that and keep creeping back. Hard bouncer goes through. Great shot by Joel McCormick.
That was just that one, that's a tough one to stop. When the ball's behind the net, it was a quick pass to the top guy. And it was just a quick shot, quick bounce shot. You watch here, right up to the top. Defense is sucked in. Just a nice bounce shot that beats the goalie.
Again, with McCormick being high, you can't cover everyone. You can't extend out that far, and he has time to step into it, get a nice rip.
Well, especially when you're shorthanded, right? You want to cover the guys that are in closer than that. You're not covering that guy that's the farthest from the ball. And they found the guy farthest from the ball. He put it in the net.
We saw the exact same thing on Ontario, an Ontario goal earlier. This time it's BC taking advantage of that time and space that the short man situation created for Ontario. Collison, another face-off win. He's going to flick it back over to Vagno, the goalie. He's got to get away from some checking. Still has it. He's going out of bounds.
Pushed him out of bounds.
Great job by BC, and they'll get the ball back. Excellent effort play on that. Hard.
So we're back to 6
ride.
on 6 right now as well.
Favreau goes to Manning behind the net. Monroe will initiate from the top. Tries to drive through Collison. Got a couple of Team Ontario red jerseys around him. Goes to the ground and gets back up, and Monroe's just going to start it all over again after Emmett Flynn kind of ground him down to the turf. Oak Stratton has a bounce out of his stick, and boy, that's in a game where possession is so valuable. To have the ball and just let it drop can be crushing.
Yeah, you know what? Your momentum's your way. You can't give up a ball that easy on the offense.
Oh, great work. Staying in bounds by Colin Barnett.
He was millimeters from going out of bounds on that one. Oh, there's a flag.
There we go. The goaltender comes running out. Jack Kask to get the ball, kind of overruns it, then is on the ground and has an Ontario player just land on top of him.
That was a great call by the official. The goalie's on his knees, sitting on the ground, unprotected. You can't command, you can't hit him. It's just a no-brainer on that one.
Yeah, Trask just slides to the turf, and you can see right there, Lucas Dudemain just rolls on top of him. And again, you've got to have some respect for that goaltender running.
Now, we're not sure if that's a 1 minute or 2 minute, but we'll see here in a second.
I believe it looked like 2 minutes. It's a little tough to tell from across the field.
I think that's Graham McDonald lost his hat.
It is gusty. There's some wind here and there. BC in the man up. They're on a bit of a roll, pulling back within 6-4. Oh, but they can't get the pass through. Gabriel trying to
push in the back.
Yeah, Gabriel trying to thread the needle over to Hoogstraat and has it knocked down, but that loose ball push will give the ball back to BC. Plays blown in. Hoogstraten will be able to accept the pass now. There's a rip from the outside. That's Joshua Iachino. Iachino just, again, nice lateral movement on this pass and a great rip from Iachino.
So you'll see here on the replay, when it comes up here, you'll see the ball goes down. What happens, the guy from the top slides through the middle. Top guy slides in to take him, thinking the pass, the ball comes to the outside guy.
Yeah.
Guy's wide open, takes a nice shot.
Yeah, you have that cutter down the slot. It was Joshua Gabriel, I believe, that slid through the middle and just drew the attention of at least a couple of Ontario defenders. BC's just going to set up for the faceoff. Can't really take a timeout every time. You've got a goal off a penalty, so violation by Collison, and BC will get the ball back. That's huge.
Yeah, that's just a miscue by the draw guy. You can't, when you're down a guy like that, you can't cheat. Especially when right now, you know what? They've scored 4 in a row.
Yeah. 6-5 for Ontario. That was the score of the round robin game. BC winning 6-5. We got a ton of time left, though. 11:15 to go here in the first half. BC patiently setting up, manning at X. Watched closely by Vagno, the goalie. There's room. They close it off, and there's a shot off the post. Hoogstraten. That goes all the way near center, and will be Ontario possession. Great hustle to get that ball. And the penalty is over, so we're back to even strength. Ontario still leading 6-5. And now we'll have a timeout from Ontario. If you're wondering why Ontario is the visitor when they're playing in their home province, it's whoever finished first in the round robin gets home, is officially designated the home team. That's why BC is on the right on the screen wearing their blue with the taupe shoulder caps. And on the left there is Ontario in their red with the white. We would like to thank Oshawa Blue Knights Lacrosse, the minor lacrosse program here, for helping to bring you the Canadian U15 and U18 Field Lacrosse Championships here in Oshawa, Ontario. They're an official sponsor of the Canadian Field Lacrosse Championships. Also, the Ontario Junior Men's Field Lacrosse League, another sponsor here. So the folks here in Oshawa and the Ontario Junior League really getting behind this event to make this happen here at the Civic Fields in Oshawa.
Yeah, you know what? A lot of these guys that are playing out here come from our Junior Men's Field League, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what? Obviously, they're going to step up and sponsor their players, as do a bunch of these kids come from a minor program as well.
6-5, a very close game here. You predicted a one-goal game, which is a bold prediction over an 80-minute time.
Well, you know what? You look at it, and like I said, you know what? It could be up 5.
Yeah.
But at any given time,
turn it around.
It's all about momentum runs, right? This game here is a game of momentum. You can be up 5, and next thing you know, you're down 2. And right now, BC has momentum. You know, the good thing is Ontario they hit a post, and Ontario got the ball back on their power play, which was great.
For Ontario, at least, it's an advantage, obviously, to get the ball back. They lead by 1. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Hiltz. Finley Thomas. And the other thing is the face-off battle was all Ontario early on, and BC starting to cause some violations and win the odd draw here and there, and really evening things out. That pass into the middle to Thompson doesn't connect. It is snagged by it's Jordan Vincent, the LSM. He goes for a run. Ball pops free, rolls out of play, and Ontario will get possession. And we'll get going again. Finley Thompson just handed it off. Ty Scott brings it across to Bowie Horseman. We've seen a lot of running, a lot of pressure, a lot of action back and forth in the game. And then now Ontario is just trying to slow things down a little and gather their wits about them. They start the attack now. Toe drag by Ty Scott. He is watched carefully. Gets it over to Jackman. Down the shoulder. And there's a quick release. Nice passing. They're down low to Ertl. He flips the ball up into the slot and a quick stick home. Makes it 7-5 for Ontario.
No, that was nice pass inside. Nice little quick stick. BC was getting a penalty on the play. I do right here. It just slides inside, push it down to the corner. Guy pops in. Nice pass into the middle. And you know what? When you're that close, it becomes that much easier.
A pair of Ontario players standing side by side, and Ertl elects to go to Dante Bowen. And he is fired up after tucking home his first goal of the game.
I think Dante started that pass down to the corner, and as he cut in, he took the pass back.
Ertl had 16 goals and 12 assists coming into this game, leading Ontario in scoring. Leading in goals, but you can see he's also with 12 assists, leading them in setups. And he continues that, shows his diverse game. BC gets the draw. And Manning will set up at X once again. Slow roll pass.
For a team that dominated the draws in the first quarter.
Yeah.
You know what? BC's, Ontario's jumping around. They're losing their edge on the draws right now, which is giving BC an opportunity to score.
We mentioned that Ontario had tried a few different players at the dot, but seemed to be fairly much settling on Collison. But now BC starting to get to him a little bit. That is Collison on defense. Watching Collery. Boy, Collery in no rush. Just waiting as a couple of players cut through.
Well, I see BC was shorthanded. That's why they're just kind of
killing
it off.
Of course, killing the penalty. And Ontario not pressing, so BC successfully gets that man down killed. Hogue Stratton up to Collery. Favreau will lob it in behind the net. Manning. Watched there by Marnier. Manning with 12 goals, 10 assists for 22 points, leading BC. He is in down behind the net. You can see that Marnier, the top Ontario defender, getting him matched up on him all the time. We've got the shorty-on-shorty matchup here. They're going to give it up, though. It was great defensive work by Cole Barnett, just denying Joel McCormick a chance to develop anything. Here's Manning with Marnier on him, trying to come out from behind the net. Collery. Can't shake his man. Again, that's Collison watching him.
Oh,
lever shot by Noah Manning as he wheeled out from behind the net.
Unfortunately, he just hit another post.
Yeah. Boy, it wasn't as hard as the last one, but just as dead on. I mean, those are hitting square on the pipes. Got to get it off to the side just a couple inches. Get that favorable bounce in. Fight through traffic. Flags are coming. The stick's getting up onto the head of Collery. First half ticking down, 5:15 to go here in the second quarter.
Oh, they're getting them two. They got a hold and a slash coming here.
Oh, so the two flags were not for separate fouls. It's a huge chance for BC.
They were separate, weren't they? No?
Oh, maybe not. Maybe it's on the same player.
Nope.
It's got to be because it is 6-on-5.
There's the pressure they had to put on the ball right there.
Gabriel spins to the middle, though, gets the shot off, but it just drifts away on him. Manning is back there, closest to the line, closest to where the ball went out when it exited, so he will get possession back for BC. Hoogstraten, the big man, just drops the head of the stick right down to turf level and skitters one through to make it 7-6 on the man advantage.
Yep, there, Bob Manning out to the front. He just steps into it. Nice underhand right between his legs. Either that or it was far post, who knows. But anyways, a nice underhand shot.
Yeah, I feel like it was probably far post, but that ball skipped just a couple feet in front of Hoogstraten as he took that. It really had the head of the stick down low and the bounce way out away from the goaltender, which can be pretty tricky to deal with. You got so much can change in the angle of that ball as it comes towards you.
You know what? For the goalie, this is like a guessing game, right? You got to, is he going high? Is he going low? Right?
And BC with the ball once again. So much of this game is turned around from the early going. Backdoor chance, just skips off the stick of Manning. He can't believe that one got away from him. He had all kinds of net to shoot at. BC retains possession. McCormick. There's a bouncer. That's going to be close. BC does get possession. Man, Oliver Vagno really hustled back there, the goalie, nearly getting the ball back for the red and white. Instead, it's the blue and brown,
Nice
and that's a
save.
great save by Vagno, absolutely robbing Joshua Gabriel. Dante Bowen going for a run.
Oh,
Runs into a solid cross check. Eventually, the ball pops out. He held onto it for a bit.
he put his head down, tried to run the guy over,
Yeah.
and the guy just stood him up straight.
Loose ball hold against BC, so Ontario will get the ball back. No time served penalty, but possession, and we are back to even strength. Horseman elects to go behind the net, but gets it back almost immediately. Bowen taking his time. Swim move, gets it through, but then is stripped. Nice work by Austin Krug. Couple of flags go up as we're into the final 2 minutes of the half. The officials will get together and make sure they're on the same page.
Let's see what they're going to call here.
Yeah, it looks like just the one penalty for tripping. There's a lot of traffic in front of that net there. So very difficult for us to see from up here exactly what transpired.
All we seen was him. He went flying forward.
Yeah.
Not really sure how he got there.
Outside movement by Ontario. Prodding, probing. They get inside. Oh, stepping away from a check and skipping a bouncer in. That's Eric Ward. Lovely play by Ward.
Nice pass. See it here on the replay. Starts over here with Thompson. Thompson on the far side as a righty. Makes a nice pass. Across the left shooter.
Timeout taken. A minute and a half to go here in the first half.
Ontario hoping they can make use of this timeout with when being up a man.
Boy, what a back and forth battle. Ontario dominating off the start, going up 6-1. BC battling basically all the way back to get to 7-6, and then that's a huge goal in Ontario. You can tell they want to get another one and not let things really go in this much of a question into the next period.
Absolutely. With a minute 30 left, you know what? Getting another one here would be a huge advantage going into the third quarter. That last goal was a great goal, though. It was started by Finley on the right side. He made a pass across over the top shooter on the left side. Steps in, draws the guy up, dumps the ball down the ward. Ward steps around, looks up, throws a nice bounce pass or bounce shot between the legs. Nice goal.
Just nice changing the plane on the shot.
Oh, yeah.
Switch it up.
More times than not in this game, goalies are thinking you're shooting high, right? So if you start high, they're coming at you looking like you're shooting high, and he just pulled it low and put it between his legs.
McCormick and Collison back out there for this face-off again. Such a big, important draw for BC in particular.
Yeah, for both teams, really. You know, you get possession of this ball.
Neither of them knows where it is, but both the wingmen from Ontario zip in there first, and Cole Barnett will come up with the ball and give Ontario a chance to take advantage of this man advantage, this man-up opportunity. Being pretty methodical, getting things set. Oh, and a shot attempt. Justin Ertl, as the goaltender Kask was tending towards the player in behind the net, trying to keep an eye on Bowie Horseman. And that just left Ertl to let one rip at the empty net.
Yeah.
Now he's going to go back to Horseman.
We're back at even strength right now.
Oh, that stinger mid to mid. Just a little bit wide by Thompson.
Stepped out of that, just missed far post.
Great angle for us on that one. And you could see it pretty much zipping out of your living room towards the net, just a little bit wide.
Ontario's going to hopefully use the last shot here.
Oh, they're going to throw the ball away. 20 seconds to go. We'll see if BC can do very much. It is running time until the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter. Only stop time. So with 12 seconds left, Kask is just going to flick the ball the length of the field. They get it. They make a pass across. And I'm not sure Joshua Gabriel was ready for that.
No, he wasn't ready. Man, he should have at least take a look, took a step into that a little bit farther.
Sorry, Ryan Favreau. Anyway, it is halftime. The score 8-6 in favor of Ontario. We've got a dandy. We're going to take a break. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Hiltz. This is JVI Sports Network's coverage of the Canadian Junior Men's Field Lacrosse Championships. Welcome back, lacrosse friends. It is 8-6 as we get underway in the second half of the U15 men's, the Alumni Cup Championship here at the Canadian Field Lacrosse Nationals. I'm Stephen Stamp with Joe Hiltz. Ontario ahead, but they were up 6-1. BC's really battled back, and they have possession.
You know what I understand is Ontario started the game off with Matthew Collison. They're taking our jaws. He won 3 in a row. They changed him up. They lost one. It came back. He won one. They changed it up. They lost one. You know, he struggled a little bit late in the half, but then they started a brand new guy here to start the second half off.
Yeah, Leighton Cook comes out to take the draw, but Joel McCormick doing yeoman's work for BC at the dot, and they have possession. Gabriel over to Collery. Collery gets it back. Gabriel dodging from the top. Puts his shoulder down. Lob pass almost too high for Manning as he was making the pass as he was running into a defender. Hoogstraten can't quite handle that one. And here comes Bowen. Dante Bowen going for a run. Spins back to split the D. Split them one way. Spins back and goes through them again.
Again, the pressure of that Ontario defense, stifles the BC offense a little bit there, and they end up turning the ball over.
Dodge from the wing. I think Horseman didn't realize how much room he had to keep running and go for the shot. Instead, he tried to pass it off. It kind of dribbled back, but Ertl was able to control it, and they get the ball up to the top. Dudemain. Bounce shot. Nice save by Kask. One-hand snag picked up by Finley Thompson. He started the game on fire with 2 goals and then an assist on Ontario's first 3 goals of the game. Little fake pass by Horseman. Now he will actually toss it up after he tried to spin. Little roll dodge and didn't quite work out. Here comes Barnett. It's Collery D'ing up on him. Collery, the Nanaimo native. Gives you a good shot of the gold in the BC helmets there. It's kind of gold and black alternating. Ball pops free. Ontario gets it back. And those slow things down a little. McDonald took a look towards the net. Nothing there, so he's just going to pull back out and set things up. We are playing 4 20-minute quarters. As Ertl goes behind the net. We're in the third one, just a few minutes in. Fighting out pass. Oh, great job with the catch, Eric Ward. He had to look to make sure he had the ball in his stick. He had it, and he flicks it home.
You look at this. Ertl's got the ball. He sucks the D guy way out deep. Steps around, gets a step on him. Waits. Slide comes. Nice inside pass. Nice shot by Ward.
Yeah, and Ward just a little sidestep to move himself into a more dangerous position. Had his defender with his back to him. The defender a little bit of ball watching and didn't see that Ward was slipping into a dangerous spot. Still barely able to get that pass through as the BC defense had collapsed a fair bit on them. There's Collison with the win, and Ontario gets the ball back with their 9-6 lead. Oh, the pass comes to Bowen on the near side. Gets away from him momentarily. Ward down to Ertl. Is that? Wow. What a quick release by Dante Bowen. I'm not sure the referee even realized at first that was in the net. I had to do a double take.
I actually thought he was throwing a fake.
Yeah. This ball just disappears. Bowen, what a quick release.
Like Ertl has the ball in behind. He makes a nice pass out front. I think he was actually trying to catch it, and it just kind of went off him and pushed to the net.
Could be. It could be because that came off in a hurry.
But a goal's a goal. Doesn't matter how it goes in.
They don't ask how, they ask how many. We're 4.5 into the third quarter. Ontario pulls away to 10-8. A couple of goals here in the third. The whistle goes for the faceoff. Nice job by Collison to hold his ground. McCormick was digging and grinding away. That ball rolls out of play. It will be Ontario possession.
Oh, BC ball. She pointed the wrong way.
Okay, yep.
Yep.
That goes off Ontario, so BC gets it and it stays on the offense. A little 5-hopper out top to Iachino. McCormick trotting over to the far side. BC, lots of blue shirts stacked in the middle. Now they're going to pop out. Manning will reestablish. That's Favreau behind. Tries to get out. Makes it. The shot stopped. Boy, great work by Favreau. He had all kinds of pressure. But was somehow able to get through with the ball. And then just you do all that work. And then Vagno just says, nope, not putting it in.
Yeah, he makes a nice save. The BC guy falls in the crease and possession goes to Ontario.
Benjamin Schultz elevates to take that pass. Sorry, that's Leighton Cook. Number 32, not 12. Ertl way up near midfield. We rarely actually see him far above the goal line extended. He spends a lot of time back behind the goal line where he's heading right now to take this pass. Over to Cook. That's Collison with the one-hand vertical cradle. Blaemeyers motions for Collison to go in. He's going to start the dodge from way up at the top. Fridge right on him. Ball hits the turf, but Collison is the first one there to get it. A couple of fakes by Horseman. Eventually he does get it behind to Ertl. Spins through traffic and bounces one home. What a great 360 into space in the middle, and then just a high to low, steep angle bouncer.
This was definitely a miscue by BC defense. He comes in here hard. He drives hard, beats this guy, draws a guy, but instead of going for the player, he goes for the stick.
I thought he actually did go for the player, and Ertl just spun well off of him.
Yeah, he come up high for a stick.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Tries to take his stick out of his hands right now, but he rotates back on him instead of taking body. If he had took body and laid him out, he's not standing. There it is. You know what? Again, it was a great move by Ertl to spin back inside. Nice bounce, nice shot, low to high.
Yeah, it was high to low the first time.
Yeah,
going to the
high
ground.
to low to high.
High to low to high. Yeah, there we go. Oh, they almost got the pass through the middle, but it's picked off. Great defensive effort.
Is that Crowley? Nope. Crowley.
Yeah, that was Nicholas Crowley taking that pass. Goes for a bit of a run, gets it ahead. And Ontario in the offensive zone once again. Colin Barnett will just lob it up to the top. A high dodge initiation by McDonald. Eight and a half minutes into the third quarter here. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Hilt. Ontario, 3 straight goals here in the third to establish a solid 11-6 lead, but we've seen how quickly BC can strike. Nice pass to the GLE. Ertl protects the ball. Diligent work by Lucas Elliott. Ertl with the toe drag, flip pass. No angle for the shot. Now there's a chance. That one's going off of a stick, up out of play. Ward will start with possession.
That was just some nice footwork there by Ertl. He rolls in and flips the ball back inside to the middle. That would have been a beautiful goal if the guy if he had caught it and with a quick release. Nobody was expecting that at all.
Ertl across behind the net to Horseman. He's got some space. Gets the shot off, and it never gets out of his stick. Rolls onto the ground and is snagged there. Millen Webster gets it, but the ball pops away from him. It's going to be Colin Barnett coming up with the ball again for Ontario. Horseman thought about just letting it rip. He hangs on instead and will set up as we approach the midway point of the third. That pass picked off cleanly. Spinning away is Jordan Vincent. He's going for a run. Has that long pole extended way out ahead of him to keep it clear from any marauding sticks from Ontario. Great clear by Vincent. BC needs a good solid possession here, but they're going to throw the ball away instead. That pass rolls out of bounds and it goes straight back to Team Ontario.
Yeah, you know what? You get the ball, you got to possess the ball. You can't be throwing them away. You're down 5 right now. You need to own the ball, and you can't afford to turn the ball over like that.
A little bit careless, and Ontario will take their time. 9:20 to go here in the third quarter. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Hiltz. Our thanks to Oshawa Minor Lacrosse, the Blue Knights organization, and to the Ontario Junior Men's Field Lacrosse League for making it possible for JVI Sports Network to bring you this Field Nationals action from Civic Fields in Oshawa. Oh, a little backhand flip pass. Doesn't get through. Kask picks it off. He's going to backpedal out of his crease. Throws it into the backside of the mesh. Hurdle. Thinking about going for the reach. Kask has to hustle. Gets that long pass to near midfield. Hoke Stratton passes it down the rip by Manning. Oh, that ball trying to get out of the stick of Vagno. He eventually does corral it, but boy, it was rolling up over his stick, and you could see he was worried about it dropping back into the net.
You know what? He made a fantastic save on that. Just lost it for a second, regained his composure, picked it up, and away they went.
Very calm, which is a pretty good quality to have in a goalie. BC's defense extending well out. Not a lot of pressure, though.
Fans are calling for an offside there, but the referee did the right thing. He counted up in front of him. Only saw 5 offensive Ontario guys in the offense, and that play continued.
You got lots of time to make that offside call, but once you make it, it's hard to take it back. There's a great shot on the jump by Alex Rousel. $11 goals in the round robin. Haven't really seen a lot of him here in the final, but that's just a lovely finish.
It's just a nice push, step back. They turn the corner, and nice shot, far side top corner.
Little hop up onto the left foot. 12-6, Ontario starting to pull away. And again, it was 6-1 Ontario. Then BC battled back. We had an 8-6 score for Ontario at the half. And here in the first 12 and a half minutes of the third quarter, it's been 4-0 for the team in red. Another new face-off man for Ontario. Brian Jackman. I believe he took one early in the game.
Yeah, he took the fourth one, third or fourth one earlier in the game.
Ontario setting things up with Barnett. Oh, nice catch and release by Horseman. It's going to be Ontario possession. That was very close. Ontario had the player lower, but BC's player was a bit closer to the sideline. A little trigonometry involved for the refs there to figure out who was closest to that ball when it left the playing surface.
Yeah, it's not who's close to the outside. It's who's closest to the ball where and when it goes out of bounds.
Oh, what a high to low to high there. That was Finley Thompson getting back on the score sheet. The nice bouncer. Benjamin Schultz?
Yeah, it was number 15. I think it was Colin Barnett. And it was a nice pass from Finley right here. Finley passed it to Barnett.
Right.
Barnett finished it with a nice bounce shot.
Excellent point.
Finley doing all the work and Barnett getting all the fame.
Barnett with 8 goals in the round robin. Thompson had 9, so they're in a battle there. We'd like to thank the Oshawa Blue Knights Lacrosse, the U19 club, and for being a sponsor of these Canadian U15 and U18 Field Lacrosse Championships, and the Ontario Men's Field Lacrosse League, or the Ontario Minor Field Lacrosse League, sorry. Again, so many of these players playing in the OMFLL, and great to see them stepping on board to allow all of you to watch these live streamed games from the National Championship. There is BC having a little gathering around their coaches.
Yeah. The OJMFL, the Ontario Junior Men's Field Lacrosse League, which runs in our fall. It's a fall program. It's a U19 league. It gives our kids an opportunity to play. A lot of these kids that's what they're going to play. You know, and later on our U18 team, a lot of those kids come out of that league as well.
Yep. I've done did the Ontario Junior Men's Field Lacrosse League Championships last year, right here in this booth at this field, and some pretty exciting stuff. And it's fun. You get to see these players who are generally getting ready to head off either south of the border to the States or to a KUFLA school to continue their lacrosse careers as they further their education. They're pretty fired up to get out and play for provincial and national championships here. McCormick, another face-off win. He's really, I believe he's taken every face-off for BC at this point. That'd be 22 face-offs in total.
And he's did a good job against Collison, who's been probably Ontario's best draw guy.
Yeah. And McCormick will get out and play, spend some time at both ends of the field. Been involved in the offense. Flag is on the field. So BC with a rip. What a sting from the top.
Penalty's wiped out by the goal.
A lovely little finish.
Here again, nice cross pass, step in, nice far side shot. Just goalie couldn't just miss the stick. Goalie just missed with the stick.
It's just sheer power.
But again, it was a nice shot.
Joshua Iachino. 9 goals in round robin play. And we've got Brian Jackman back out for Ontario to take this face-off. Once again, of course, Joel McCormick from Maple Ridge taking it for British Columbia. Great trail check on the wrap. And Jackman is all over.
There's the
now
flag.
The flag comes. Joshua Gabriel just hangs on, battles through it, and draws the penalty.
Now you're going to get away with one of those step-up holds, and you know what, maybe two, but as he kept going, he kept on pinning him up and just kind of held him up a little too long, and referee called the third one.
Great effort play by Gabriel. It's 13-7. You can see this chance here. The pass just floats a little bit too far. So the opportunity with the delayed penalty ends, but they don't take long to take advantage of the penalty itself. Dropping the head of the stick, and Hoogstraten just rips this one.
Yeah, this was just a little case of the Ontario guy. I think it was Crowley being a little late getting in position, allowing that shot from that close. You know what? Great low shot, beat the goal between the legs.
Yeah, the low to low. And you mentioned Crowley, coming on the slide, you could see a little hesitation as he started to go, then kind of waited for a moment and then went. If he'd just gone, he's actually there in pretty good time.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think they were just playing the three set on the top. We're just playing a little too high, right? Put himself out of position to get there in time. I'm sure they'll figure that out, though.
So 13-8, BC pulls back within 5. Still got a few minutes here in the third quarter to try and get closer. What's a reasonable spread that you feel comfortable going into in the fourth quarter that you think, yeah, we can come back from this?
Yeah, it is. You know what? 5's good. 6
5's
is good.
okay?
Yeah, 6 is okay. As we saw earlier in the game, they were down 6, and by the time the third quarter was over, the second quarter was over, it was a
down
2-goal
to 2.
game. Right?
Yeah, but you can't just get back to within 2. This time you're going to have, this is your chance to, you got to come back all the way. I don't think you want to get much further than 5.
No, absolutely not. Going into that fourth quarter, you want to make it 5, maybe even bring it down to 4, right, and give yourself give a good opportunity to make a run.
Yeah, great active stick there. That was Austin Krug swatting the ball down, getting out, getting some pressure on the man, and then with the aggressive but not too aggressive defensive check.
Looks like even being up 5 right now, Ontario's not content with just sitting on that lead going into the fourth quarter. They're going to try to get to the net.
And again, they saw how quickly BC was able to put up 4 goals. Don't want to give them any chance. Nothing to save it for here in the national championship game of U15 men's field lacrosse. Oh, great pass in the middle, but the post hit by Horseman. Then that either shot or pass drifted astray.
Finley just got his stick checked at the last minute there when he had that and just put the ball over the net.
Great closing defense by BC, and there's Jaden Terry D'ing up. Penalty coming. The holding call.
Slash. 1 minute.
You calling slash?
Yeah.
That's going to eat up most of this final stretch of the third quarter. Oh, the pass just
wow, that's
a little lackadaisical.
That's just something that can't happen in a situation like that right there. Up a man with a minute to go. You can't afford to throw the ball away up 5. You know, you're looking to go up 6 and put it out of reach, not give BC an opportunity.
Axel Shepard went to pick that ball up, runs it out part way, tosses it back to Kask. The goaltender flips it near side, and Austin Krug will advance and now goes back to his goaltender. Now the whistle goes. And there's the flag.
Yep.
As Kask was a little perplexed that the call wasn't coming. Alex Roussel all over the goalie.
Oh.
BC's penalty has expired, so they're going to go to the man advantage, but the quarter will end before they get a chance to commence. Score 13-8 in favor of Ontario. I'm Stephen Stamp with Joe Hiltz. We'll take a quick break here on JVI Sports Network. We'll be back with more Field Nationals here in Oshawa. to the Field Nationals here in Oshawa, Canadian Field Lacrosse Championships. We're going to have a free clear ball starting at center for BC. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Hiltz. Derek Lazzuti has a question for you, Hiltzy.
Yeah.
Does your lacrosse season ever end?
No, Derek, it doesn't. It goes. It's 24/7, 12 months a year. You know, it's in the blood. It's what I do. Kids love it. My kids play, so you know what? I follow them everywhere they go, anyways.
Meg's here with us today. Made the trip up. There's a rip. Nice save by Vanyo. Turn aside that opportunity as we are underway in the fourth quarter. 4 20-minute quarters. And again, these teams have not been playing. Oh, long outlet pass. Nice connection. Finding Horseman up ahead. These U15 teams have been playing 2 25-minute halves, so this is way beyond what they've been in. Great pickoff. Oh, and then the snag off the bounce. Nice job by Krug. Shortens the handle on the stick and makes the short pass. Ripped straight into the stick there of Monroe. That's just a great play up and down by Krug.
Yeah, he's definitely been their best pull today, by far, in my mind.
Yeah, really impressed with the way he's been playing. Lob pass on one hop over to Collery.
Just going back to BC's power play. You know, you get a power play. You can't afford to throw the ball away.
Yeah.
You got to get a better opportunity. You only have so many left, and good opportunities. You need to put the ball in the net.
They get a chance there. It's a little bit wide from Manning. So Favreau will go and pick this ball up. Start play again. I like the fence. That's a fairly new addition to tournaments here. Fence behind the field. Oh, what a finish. A little lever shot by Manning. He just fights his way out. Sets it, lost his balance a bit, but jams the foot in to get it back and reaches over.
Well, if you watch, it's pretty good. He gets the ball right now. He starts, he beats the guy underneath, comes around the far side, tiptoes the crease, right? Steps. You know what? It was textbook. You know, he made a good play on the crease, tiptoed across, goalie steps out and throws the ball over top.
Marnier for Ontario has been all over Manning. That has been a matchup we've seen a lot of today. In that case, you could see Manning just took off as the ball is getting there, manages to get ahead, get that step on, and Marnier comes from behind, gets that bit of a push on the back, enough to throw him off balance, but that's the big one to me is Manning recovering his balance. And then they get the ball off the faceoff. Here's a chance by Gabriel. Oh, and it's swatted home. The hockey-style goal by Ryan Favreau. Oh, they're going to say no goal. They're going to say it's in the crease. See what the call is here.
He called it in the crease. Get a replay on that. I'd like to see that one over again. That one there would have put this thing on a whole nother level, bring it to 13-10. You know,
right?
Momentum totally swings to BC way.
We talked about what's a goal differential you feel you can get back from. Obviously, 5 is a long way, but if they pulled it within 3, they're well on the way already. We're just over 3 minutes into this third quarter, but it does remain a 4-goal game, 13-9 in favor of Ontario, and they've got possession now. Ertl is taking his time getting back to the back line. Now he'll initiate, trying to dodge up past Chase Miller. Throws the pass to Scott. They get back to Ertl. He takes the pass from Eric McDonald and goes back to the X. Again, starts to head up. Spins and gets a shot off that one. A little bit wide. Believe Kask may have got a piece of it.
He did. He made a nice save on that and put the ball in behind the net.
Now Ertl's going to try and dodge from the wing. Spins, shoots. Kask can't get a stick on that one. That's a rocket to the far side just inside the post, 14-9.
Now ball come in. He got it, stepped in, made a little spin roll, step back. I don't even know if the goalie actually saw everything that was coming off this ball anyways when he stepped back and made his little dodge roll, step back shot. I think he saw it come out a little too late.
Yeah.
And
you can see how late Kask reacted.
Right between his stick and his ear, right?
Yeah. And we've seen Jack Kask has played some pretty good goal. He's generally reacting quite well. You can see he's got that goalie sense of where a shot's coming from, where it's going to, and reacting. But on that one, it was almost past him by the time he was able to react to the shot. Little clamp on the stick off the face-off by BC. And the ball is going to be turned over. That was actually Joshua Gabriel getting out for a face-off, giving McCormick a little bit of a break. Ontario up by 5. Under 15 to go here in the U15 men's championship game. Push pass to the top. They'll reset. No rush for Ontario. They're going to keep going. They're going to keep playing, but they'll be patient about it.
Well, you definitely need to keep the ball active. You can't have the ball sit around in one guy's stick and not attack, because what'll happen is they'll just go out and press and lock everybody off, and they'll just go attack the ball.
There's a pass to the cutter, but Blameyers couldn't quite handle it. Bowen, though, will be the first man to it. Nice hustle by him. Couldn't get the ball the first time, but he gets it back. Great pressure from Jordan Vincent. Bowen has the ball pop loose. Collery goes after it. It's going to come out, and Alex Russell. Eventually, we do have a possession call. Ball awarded to Ontario. There was that big battle, a scrum with everybody falling over each other.
No, Bowen got in there. Bowen should have probably pulled the ball out instead of trying to run through the other two guys. And then possess the ball again rather than get in that situation where he has the opportunity to lose the ball.
Bowen setting in the slot there. As Horseman is going to go for a trot behind, watched by Collery. Reverses direction and gets it to the top. Ball's knocked loose. Vincent, great job. After one guy, after another, kicks it ahead. Now he's going for it. Snags it with the long pole. Tries to make a pass, and there's a couple of flags coming.
Who's getting it here? Is it the Ontario guy or the BC guy getting this penalty?
Hard to say. I mean, Vincent was chopping down.
What's worse like for both of them?
Okay. Wasn't entirely clear if play was blown down there. You'll see.
See this late little.
Yeah, it's just before that. Sorry, we jumped on it a little late. Taking a look there. We'll go 5-on-5. Ontario with a chance. Ertl turned aside by Kask.
Oh,
and another penalty coming. Check from behind?
No, loose ball push.
Oh, okay, loose ball push.
Or
yeah.
Really not clear on that. Here it is here. I'm thinking he may have got him on a cross check.
Yeah. Axel Shepard will head off. Timeout Ontario. They lead by 5, 14-9, 11:57 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Coach Atwood there wants to have a chat with his offense.
Matt Atwood, one of the really good young lacrosse minds in the game. Loved watching him coach in the Canadian Lacrosse League and Arena League, and he coaches over at Brock University, where he's going to be pointing out to some of these guys, hey.
Oh yeah,
keep your mind on Brock in the future.
Oh yeah, he was a fantastic attackman as well. You know what? And definitely a great offensive coach to boot.
St. Catharines guy.
Yep. Played for the St. Catharines Athletic Junior team.
Thanks once again to the Oshawa Blue Knights Lacrosse, the minor lacrosse program, an official sponsor of the Canadian Field Lacrosse Championships here on the Civic Fields in Oshawa, and the Ontario Junior Men's Field Lacrosse League. Both of you helping to make it possible for JVI Sports Network to bring you this great field lacrosse coverage.
We all know that the Oshawa Blue Knights have been a coveted U19 team here in the OJMFL for years, and they've got their minor program up and running, and they have just a great program all around.
You've had offspring in the Lady Blue Knights, haven't you?
Oh yeah, both my kids, but they're not. These guys they're not even connected. They're two different And
Completely separate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, but both run out of Oshawa, both very, very successful.
Didn't realize they were that separate. Nice passing in front. What a finish by Eric McDonald.
And, there you got Matt Atwood calling that timeout, setting up a play. And look at that. Wow. That was special. That was a good play. Watch it here. The guy cuts through. Pass comes over to Thompson. Down to the crease. Right? Guy cuts through. Nice easy pass back to the middle. Nice.
Great ball movement to take advantage of the man up. And Ontario extends the lead to 15-9. We're nearing the midway point of the fourth quarter. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Hiltz. Thanks, lacrosse friends, for being with us here at these Field Lacrosse National Championships in Oshawa. Jackman is going to scoop that ball up. It just got away from Vincent. Vincent with the trail check. All kinds of pressure on Jackman. Vincent just a non-stop motor. Then Ontario will just slow things down. Let everyone get set, make a couple of changes. Roll pass up to Brian Jackman as he comes off the bench. Switches hands, lets one rip. It's a little bit wide. You can see Jack Kask a little disappointed he wasn't able to get there first, but Ontario did have a player back below GLE. Alex Russell working his way out. They're just going to back way out. Michael Blameyer's nearing center to initiate on Collery. Pass pops off the stick of Jackman, but he gets it back, and they work it inside. Nice finish by Ertl. 16 goals in the round robin, and you can see why with touch like that.
You know what? He's just got great hands around the net. He's a good finisher. You can't leave him alone. Here it is. There we get the ball. Right? Ontario gets the ball here on top. Nice pass inside. He just steps. Nice easy shot over top.
Collison making his way back out for the faceoff for Ontario. That'll make you happy, Joe?
Well, yeah, you know what? He's been their guy. I understand switching
job
every now and then, but
Joshua Gabriel for BC. Goes for a bit of a swing as Collison had it trapped and then pops it back out. Scooped up there by Finley Thompson. Lob pass up top. Ertl. Oh, the pass to Thompson, who goes behind the back. That's gorgeous to finish that one off. I mean, the pass was pretty, and then the finish is just a thing of beauty.
And again, you know what? It starts with a draw. You know what? They win the draw. They pick the ball up, take it down. You know what? And it just happens from the top up. Nice pass inside to Thompson, and nice backhand finish. Again, comes from a very, very strong lacrosse family.
Yeah.
Very strong. Coming out of Mimico. Good family altogether.
Ball pops out well away from the faceoff. Vincent is there to grab it. He's going to go for a run. He's so adept at getting that pull out into space where he can't be checked. BC setting up. Jackson Fridge. Just roll it across to Krug. That can't be Krug.
Nice offense.
Maybe. Oh, no. Okay. That's 48 Sean Clark, the midi from Nanaimo, who stepped in. Thought I saw an 18. Again, sorry, guys. The numbers on the front of those BC jerseys can be a little tricky to read. Shot the pass across to Clark, who rips one. Nice save by Vagno, but BC gets it back immediately. They're going to go to the top. Some time and space. That hard rip bounces a little bit wide. Giacchino And Ontario will get possessions. BC didn't have anybody deep. Big Red Machine rolling up to a 17-8 lead. They've got possession with 6:40 to go here in the fourth quarter. Ball pops loose, snagged by Fridge. Johnny on the spot. Wards off the check. Still solid effort coming from Jackman, but BC retains possession. Fridge working hard to make sure they keep the ball. There's Manning going to the net from his knees. Would have been a lovely finish, but a nice save there by Vagno. That ball's close to the end line. And they're going to call a loose ball push on Ontario, so BC will get possession. Ball stayed in, but the push was a little bit too much, and Favreau will immediately pass it out to Manning. Spins off one check, fights his way through, stings it high, far corner. Great goal by Manning. Excellent footwork, and then the hands to take advantage of the space he created.
No question there. Manning's got a good stick. You can't, you know what? He's got some good footwork. He's stepping back. He's stepping around. Dodges, misses the stick check. You know what? Steps in and then a shot. You know, tough one to stop for both the defense and the goalie, right? Like, you got no help coming inside to help you. There's nobody there. You know, he missed the stick check over top. Manning slips underneath. Nice goal.
17-10. BC back within 7. It's a tall order to get those 7 goals back in just over 5 minutes.
Oh.
Especially when Ontario's able to get possession. Collison looked like he was actually having a little trouble with his arm. Have a word for the BC players. He goes off, and now another flag going up. We may be seeing some unsportsmanlike here. Oh, a slashing call initially.
And unsportsmanlike. Yep, there it is there. The Ontario guy took an unsportsmanlike after he got slashed. Probably hurt. That's why, you know what?
Yeah. Spoke his mind pretty strong. You could see that Collison was not looking very comfortable as he came off the face-off, kind of hanging his arm down a bit. He's still not looking too happy. Has that elbow on the knee and the hand extended, kind of clenching and releasing.
Well, he definitely took a good shot, but you know, when in that situation, you just got to bite your tongue, get off the field, and let your power play do the job.
Especially if you're yelling at the referee about something that happened that he's giving a penalty for. Ertl backs away after a pretty nice job to work the ball in. That is a commitment by Finley Thompson to that fake. The pass fake, and Thompson was cradling as though he'd caught a pass for 4 or 5 seconds.
BC guy backs off the ball, and
Horseman pivots at X. He comes out. He's got all kinds of space and bounces it, almost places it in behind the goaltender.
You know, that's just an example where, you know what, you're hoping when you're out pushing out like that the goalie can help in a way lock off a guy so he can double the ball, but there was no double on that, which just allowed Jackman to run around. Defender step in by himself, and nice easy shot.
Yeah, Bowie Horseman, number 18 with the shot.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my bad.
That's okay. I want to make sure Horseman got his credit. We are into the final 3 minutes. So stop time comes into effect just in the fourth quarter here.
What you might see here is now, like, BC needs to go to a full black check where they're going to double the ball, bring the goalie out. The goalie will cover the check, the closest guy to the goal. Come out, he'll act like a defender, you know, when Ontario does get the ball in the offensive end.
Which will be right now. Eric McDonald swooping in from the wing. Zach Courier, to come up with possession. There is Jackman, number 19. He'll hand the ball off, and they come to the near side to Blaemeyers. Two and a half to go in the third. Go ahead, in the fourth.
Yeah, I'm not sure if BC's just happy sitting back, you know what, content with the score being 18-10 right now, but, you know, Usually you'd see a lot more pressure out on the ball, double teaming the ball. But really not seeing that right now. Just seeing, little pressure, little mild pressure on the ball only.
And as you said, often you bring the goaltender out into the defense, but Jack Kask sitting back on his goal line, hoping his teammates can get the ball loose. There's Horseman, the last goal scorer for Ontario. We get into the final 2 minutes of play. Ball pops away from Jackman, or from Horseman. They do get it to Ertl, though. There's Brian Jackman. Watched by Krug.
No, you're looking for an MVP for this game. You're looking at Ertl, obviously Ertl for Ontario, maybe Thompson. BC goalie, been fantastic.
Yeah. Flag coming. We've talked about Austin Krug as well.
Defensively,
BC,
yeah.
the defender playing very well, number 18.
But with the score being 18-10 right now, you're probably looking as an MVP for the game, probably coming out of Ontario.
Yeah. If you're just doing the one game MVP, if you're not doing it for both teams.
Right.
Yeah, I like Ertl.
Yeah, he's been more like the quarterback guy. A lot of assists.
Yeah. Finley
Right.
Thompson has been very good. A bit more in spurts as well. Down to 1:23 to play.
Yeah, again, you don't see the pressure like on the ball. So you know what? BC does look to be content, just to stay back, pressure on the ball, and ride the game out the way it is right now.
Yeah, and you'd think with Ontario a man short, they might really get out and pressure. But that's a poke check. Trying to push the player out. Big effort by Axel Shepard, but it's going to be a little overzealous, they'll say.
Yep. Look at Crotch. You got to stick a little high on him. You know what? A little up around the neck. But again, you're going to see this. They're just going to run this clock. I don't even think they'll go to the net.
Yeah, a couple of players into the box for BC. Dante Bowen in the Ontario penalty box is pretty chill. He's got the legs crossed, leaning back, just enjoying what's going to be an 18-10 or so win. Now, Jack Kask comes out, the BC goalie, to provide some pressure. Wasn't out far enough on Finley Thompson getting in the way, although if he'd been out a couple more steps, he wouldn't have been able to retreat to his net, and Thompson would just be able to lob it in the empty net if he wanted to. Ontario looks content to let things wrap up. Final 20 seconds ticking off. I'm Steven Stamp with Joe Hiltz. We want to thank you very much for being with us on this JVI Sports Network presentation of the Canadian Junior Men's Field Lacrosse Championships.
But again, you know what? You're doing this now where you're down with 10 minutes ago or 8 minutes ago. You're down 7. You should have been pressing the ball like this to get it back.
Time will expire as Thompson was just running the clock out. And the Ontario players will go and celebrate a national championship here on the Civic Fields. And Emmett Flynn, one of the Ontario defenders, running out, had thrown his gloves, stopped, picked up a glove, and threw it again just to make sure he got in on the action.
No, very well played game by Ontario. You know what? They got off to an early start. And, they held on to the lead there at half and came out the second half, and away they went. They got back up. They put them up, and BC couldn't recover after that.
So Ontario are the Alumni Cup champions. It's an honor they have enjoyed pretty regularly.
Yeah. They've been successful the last couple of years. And I think it's 4 in a row now, maybe 5 in a row, 4 in a row.
Congratulations to Jason Rudge and his staff, and of course all the players, everyone involved in the program. believe I do see the Alumni Cup over on the scorer's table under the tent. They're just letting everyone have a word. The BC team is gathered around, have a chat with their head coach, Dave Bigley.
One thing I would like to do right now is I'd like to do a little shout out to Jason Fridge, who's old man Darren Fridge, who's a Hall of Famer in the West Coast. Had the opportunity to play with him when I was out there for 6 years. Played against him actually. Very good lacrosse player, top notch on the West Coast.
Yeah, family ties run strong in this sport. We talked about the Thompson clan.
Yeah, very, very strong lacrosse family, like I said, in Mimico.
These are the No P Thompson brothers.
That's right.
And the teams will line up and shake hands. We're going to wrap things up as they do so. I am Stephen Stamp with Joe Hiltz on behalf of JVI Sports Network. Everyone here, thanks so much for being with us. We'll be back at 3:30 with the First Nations Trophy Championship. That will be, once again, Ontario and BC going for the Canadian U18 Men's Field Lacrosse Championship. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you shortly.
the guy doing the photos? Or he didn't say anything? Oh yeah.